Superman's been beaten before, and not by who you think. Forget Darkseid and Doomsday. Today you're going to meet 8 characters who totally wreck the Man of Steel in ways you'd never expect. Number 6 is going to blow your mind. Joker. In one of the darkest universes in DC, the Injustice storyline shows just how far Joker's chaos can go. And this time, he didn't just win. He broke Superman from the inside out. It all starts with a crazy plan. The clown prince of crime tricks the Man of Steel into setting off a nuclear bomb in Metropolis, killing thousands, including Lois Lane and the child she was expecting. And that's when the real blow hits. Overcome with pain, Superman loses all compassion and impales Joker through the chest with his arm. Yep, he kills him. But the villain had already won, because in that moment, the symbol of hope in the DC universe was corrupted. Joker did the impossible. He didn't beat Superman in strength. He destroyed what he was on the inside and created his worst nightmare, a tyrant Superman. Green Arrow. In the legendary comic The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, the showdown between Batman and Superman is the climax of a story that changed the game. But there's one detail a lot of people forget. The one who flips the game in this epic battle is actually Green Arrow. Even with one arm and far from his physical prime, Oliver Queen shows up at the crucial moment with an ace up his sleeve, an arrow tipped with kryptonite. And it's that arrow that gives Batman the opening he needs to take on the Man of Steel on equal footing. Without that surgical shot from the Green Arrow, maybe Bruce wouldn't have had a chance. That day, Oliver didn't just tip the scales. He helped bring down Earth's greatest symbol of power with a single shot. Shazam. If there's one thing Superman's never been able to fully overcome, it's magic. No matter how invulnerable he is, mystical attacks cut through his defenses like a hot knife through butter. And in Kingdom Come, we see that weakness brutally tested by none other than Shazam. In this alternate reality, Lex Luthor manipulates Billy Batson and pits him against the Man of Steel. The result? A relentless barrage of magical lightning, with Billy shouting, "Shazam!" over and over, blasting Clark with powers he just can't handle. For a moment, it seems like all hope is lost for the last son of Krypton. It's only when he finally silences Billy, literally shutting his mouth with his hand, that he starts to turn the tide. But by then, the beating was already done. Shazam proved that with magic, even gods can fall. Wonder Woman? When you see Superman and Wonder Woman fighting side by side, or even as a couple in the New 52, you'd never guess that Diana was once behind one of the most bitter defeats in Kryptonian history. And it wasn't by his choice. It was mind control. In Wonder Woman number 219, part of the Sacrifice arc, the villain Maxwell Lord manipulates Superman's mind and makes him think he's fighting Doomsday, when in reality, it's Diana standing right in front of him. Out of his mind, the Man of Steel goes all out, even putting Batman on the brink of death. But the turn comes when the Princess of Themyscira makes a drastic decision. She uses her tiara like a blade and slashes Clark's throat to neutralize him. He survives, of course, but the symbolism of that scene is heavy. Diana had to hurt someone she loves to save the world from an out-of-control Superman. And hey, if you're into this insane stuff about battles and plot twists in comics, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any videos that are gonna blow your mind. Dr. Doom. Yep, you heard right. Superman was actually defeated by a Marvel villain. And not just any villain. It was the ruthless and brilliant Dr. Doom. In the 1981 Superman and Spider-Man crossover, Victor Von Doom shows why he's one of the greatest strategists in comics, and he didn't even have to lift a finger. In the story, Doom lures Superman to the Lavian Embassy in New York City with an ambitious plan to use the Kryptonian as a key piece to conquer the world, and he almost pulls it off. Combining cutting-edge tech with high-level sorcery, the villain traps the Man of Steel and leaves him totally at the mercy of his schemes. If it weren't for Spider-Man stepping in, Doom would have won. But by the time Superman was saved, he'd already been completely neutralized. A reminder that, in the hands of a genius like Victor Von Doom, even the invulnerable can be defeated. Galactus. Now hold on to this. Superman was actually defeated and turned into Galactus's herald. That's right, In the Fantastic Four Superman crossover, the last son of Krypton teams up with the Fantastic Four to face none other than the Devourer of Worlds. But what seemed like an unbeatable alliance turns into a total nightmare. Galactus doesn't just beat Superman easily, he also turns him into his new herald, giving the hero insane cosmic powers. With that, the Kryptonian becomes an extension of the Titan's will, a symbol of destruction, about to serve the biggest devourer in the Marvel Universe. The good news is that the Fantastic Four has experience dealing with this kind of threat. In the end, they managed to stop Galactus and free Clark from his control before things got even more catastrophic. But by then, the Man of Steel had already lost badly. When even Superman surrenders, you know the enemy's on a god level. Muhammad Ali. It might sound like a joke, but it's real. Superman actually got beaten up by the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali. In the classic Superman vs. Muhammad Ali from 1978, the two are forced to fight in an alien arena to decide who will represent Earth against an intergalactic invasion. The twist is that the fight takes place far from the influence of the yellow sun, meaning Superman's powers are gone. As for Ali, he's in his prime, with all his technique, speed, and champion instincts. The result? The Man of Steel can barely keep up with the punches and is literally knocked out in the ring. In the end, like any good crossover from that time, they team up to save the planet and even become great friends. But there's no denying it. In this fight, it was Ali who proved that even a god can fall to the strength and determination of a true human champion. Harley Quinn. Yep, Harley Quinn actually beat Superman in a one-on-one fight. In Harley's Little Black Book, DC made a hilarious and genius tribute to the classic Superman vs. Muhammad Ali fight, but this time they put Harley Quinn in the center of the ring. The story takes place in an alien arena, far from the yellow sun, meaning Superman's powers are all gone. And that's when it gets good. Harleen, who's been boxing since she was a kid, steps into the ring with the Man of Steel and wins. Yep, with well-placed punches, crazy moves, and her usual chaos, she takes down the greatest hero in the DC universe. Of course, in the end, it all turns into a team-up, with both of them joining forces to save Earth from the alien threat. But one thing's for sure, that day it was Harley Quinn who walked away with the win. A win so unexpected, it almost feels like a joke, if it didn't actually happen. See that? Even Superman has his bad days. And against enemies no one saw coming. And if you thought those defeats were shocking, just wait till you see the 10 biggest villains Superman's ever faced. Click on the screen and check out the most dangerous enemies who've challenged and almost destroyed the Man of Steel. There are some obvious names and a few surprises that'll leave you speechless. Go check it out.